ladies are attracted to dominant males. We all know this, right? It's more of instinct. They believe that.
I am not attracted to dominant men.
So you like to be the...
No, I like soft men.
No. So you like to be the dominant and...
I am actually not dominant. So I don't even want anybody that is dominant.
But you get what I'm trying to say, and you are trying to intentionally avoid it. I'm going to double down to make sure you... Hey, what's up? My name is Abrela Dragum, and I want to welcome you to another episode of the podcast. If this is your first time, I think I should learn to do that more slowly, right? But or should we do a rewind? Should we let Anna take the intro? Do you want to take the intro so that so that it can be like a I don't know, a breath of fresh air?
That was a bad way of introducing me back into the podcast, but no wahala. Anyways, boys and girls.
First of all, nobody's a child here. Calm down. What's the problem?
Boys and girls. Hi, everyone. So, welcome back to the podcast. I am Oseni Hanat for everybody who is listening for the first time and people who are listening.
But they did not know you like that.
They do not know me. So, I am Oseni Hanat.
Who is Hanat? Actually, reintroduce yourself. Okay. I am a whole lot of person in one body. Sometimes I can be a photographer. Sometimes I am a fashion artist. Sometimes I am a body photographer. A what?
Body.
What does that mean? I
used to snap naked people.
And as you know, we had a conversation about this thing one time ago. Whenever you want to snap, let me I'll carry camera. I'll do. Don't worry, I'll be your PA that period.
Please. And sometimes, I am.
Sorry. I'm so sorry to interrupt you. I'm just so sorry, and I have to know. After that last one, I've got another one.
Yeah, quite a lot more, but they are personal shoots. Yeah, for.
Wait. Do you mean personal for you?
For clients.
So after that one that you actually posted on your socials, there was other ones.
Yeah.
And that's a bad friend. A very bad friend. But please go ahead.
So on the other hand, I am actually a climate change advocate and environmentalist. Yeah. So
complete somebody.
Yeah, and on the other hand, I can be a typical Yoruba woman. And
you know that, and you know how to handle that.
Yeah, quite well. Whatever you mean, whatever context, quite well. There are testimonies.
Okay. I've genuinely missed this. If you don't get the joke, watch it again. I see where I'm pointing my hand to. I was pointing my hand to. Anyways, hi, what's up? I hope you've had a great week. I hope that everything has been perfect with you. To be very honest, we've missed you this past couple of weeks. And as you can see, we had to fly in Anat to help us apologize that, we're sorry for the inconsistencies. We're trying to be different. We're trying to change this time. I hope my feet is not in the frame, so that my feet will be on Fit Finder, because his feet are caused. All right. Today we're talking about the harsh realities of being a young person in Nigeria and how to survive it. Right. Let me quickly give you a backstory. Right. And again, if this is your first time, please give us about 5 minutes. If after 5 minutes you're not impressed by what you heard so far, I would give you your data times 5.
Hey,
right?
Adura has money.
Wait. I claim it. I claim it. I don't reject such. But I'm giving you my word, and my word is my bond. If at all after 5 minutes you don't find that you can't detach yourself from the podcast, come and meet me and message me. I'll sort you.
Okay.
You understand? All right. So backstory as to how this podcast episode was birthed. A couple of weeks ago, Prime and Anna, shout out to them, had a space on abusive relationships. Right. And it was, I won't say Prime and Anna because I think it was more Adam.
It was
Adam that actually birthed that convo. I don't even know what happened.
He was on his WhatsApp story. He was having this back and forth conversation with people. So I guess that was where the whole thing started, and he just had to he came to the group chat and was like, "How far? Make me run space." And it was, and the thing just went overboard, and we had so many listeners.
That was like the first time that we had a ton of live people at once.
Everybody wanted to know what is happening. I think the toxic things actually generates more audience.
Yeah, and we're going to have a conversation about social media and toxicity eventually, right? But the gist is, now we had a conversation about abusive relationships, and as much as we wanted to have a full-blown podcast on that subject, it's a very sensitive conversation, and as much as we are shaking tables, I believe that talking about this kind of subjects, this is people's lives. You cannot just tell them what to do and what not to do. You can't blame somebody for being in an abusive relationship if you don't know the full backstory.
Right.
And Anat is running away from it because I don't know why Anat is running away from it. I don't know.
Basically, I distance myself from certain conversations when it comes to abusive relationships and with sexual violation, harassment, and the likes. I try as much as possible to get myself away from topics like that because they are actually really, really sensitive, and I need to get myself away from it because I might be saying things from my own perspective and it would not suit you. You do not like what I would want to say. You might not like what I would want to say as either the victim or
the victor. Right? But
so I would like to dissociate myself far away from that thing. I don't like to be controversial. So that's just it. And that's just who I am.
If Anat this is not the first time that you're listening to Anat. I'm sure you know this joke already, but I have to say it.
I have the H factor.
It's not who it's not who I am. All right. But do you know how terrible that you cannot pronounce your name? Anat Hosseini. But let's get into it, right? Basically, off of what I got from this space is a ton of people were in toxic relationships or abusive relationships where their partners would molest them physically and emotionally, right? So when we're talking about abusive relationship, it's not just until he or she raises her hand, because every time everybody thinks abusive relationships is when the guy is hitting the lady. Bro, women, they slap men, and because of they know that it seems wrong or it's ethically wrong for a man to hit a lady, they think they can hit a man and get away with it. But like a friend of mine would say, it's not a friend, but something I saw on the internet, wake up kings, or how did this guy say it?
Don't eat.
Save yourself, kings. But
that guy is cringe.
We're gonna talk about it eventually. But yeah, so as much as we do want to narrow it down to abusive relationships, we can start off from that, right? We know that as Nigerians, certain things we are in an environment that self-defense is our first instinct.
Yeah.
Right? I'll give you this example. One of the first times that when I actually finally moved from Abeokuta, because I did my university in Abeokuta, when I finally moved from Abeokuta to Lagos, when I finally moved and I got to Lagos at night, and believe you me when I tell you that there was this sense of insecurity that I was overwhelmed with, because I was starting to think, oh, where's my bag? Oh, let me make sure my phone is tight. Bro, if they see me make a day waka for Ikeja, and anything that is valuable, I'm not seeing it in my hand like this. And I'm not saying that it is wrong to keep it in your bag or be loose with your things or anything. I'm only saying that because of we're in Nigeria and the environment we are in, there's a lot of people there's this quote that I like to say that people that annoy you most likely want to dupe you or rip from you, and that is what we have come to as a society.
Yeah. Right.
And bringing it back to abusive relationships. Ladies, and I said this on the space that ladies have evolved from, and if this sounds right, I'm trying to choose my words wisely so I don't get misconstrued. That's why you see me taking pauses, right? From time, ladies are attracted to dominant males. We all know this, right? It's more of instinct. They believe that.
I am not attracted to dominant men.
So you like to be the...
No, I like soft men.
No. So you like to be the dominant and...
I am actually not dominant. So I don't even want anybody that is dominant.
But you get what I'm trying to say, and you are trying to intentionally avoid it. I'm going to double down to make sure you... But okay. And the reason why I say it is from instinct, what I have seen from a personal point of view, ladies love dominant males, and this stemmed from you see a lady say they like a villain, right? They're reading what's this Wattpad novels of them liking bad guys, and I don't know if this has ever happened to you. We see, say, Avatar, for example, and it's a very common example, and everybody's like, oh, my man crush that time was Zuko or Fire. I saw a tweet where someone said that Fire Lord Ozai was like a crush, and I'm like,
I can't relate to what you're saying.
how is a bad guy? And as much as this might seem insignificant, this then amounts to having or finding terrible people attractive because of you feel like, oh, they are bad, nobody would want to mess with them, and they give that illusion of, oh, I can protect you, and ladies will go into the relationship, oh, I can change him, or when I'm with him he's going to calm, and you find out that you get into the relationship and it starts to hit you, right?
I can control. There's this particular meme on TikTok. I can control him, don't worry, I can handle him. Then he slaps her. Pow! You don't know that?
I've not seen the video. but this is me trying to offer narrative. I'm not saying that is what actually happens. I'm only saying that I have noticed that from ladies liking villains of stories to being attracted to people that are just terrible people, right? And this is not victim blaming. This is not me trying to excuse good, and I'm going to connect it to this conversation. This is not me trying to say that there should not be punishment for people who hate women or people who molest women, right? But certain things we need to start to take cognizance of and be significant of. For example, would you say that is naivety that made these women to go into this relationship? Would you say that because of they grew up on fiction, they grew up on seeing that it was the bad guy that offered this sense of protection, and then they moved to that? Would you say it's naivety that caused it?
I would not say it is naivety that caused it. I would not say it is naivety. I just feel like, how do I want to put this thing in the proper context that will make everyone understand, is that we have certain females who do not understand, like people do not know what they want.
Okay.
So I do not see that as naivety. I just feel that that's part of being not totally exposed or not gathering enough information, not totally informed. Like you're not informed. You get? Okay. So some of us just criticize our parents. Mothers especially, whenever we want to start getting into romantic relationships. So if you have a very cool conversation and relationship with your parents, they can actually guide you through it, and if you're actually opened. So some of us, when ladies, for example, when they get into relationships, they believe my partner and I, so certain information do not even get out.
Oh, okay, me and you against the world, but
me and you against the world. So certain information do not even get out. So I would not know if he is abusing you. So that's not, is not being properly informed, that when you're in a relationship, I do not expect you to tell me everything about your partner or everything that goes through in your relationship. I just expect you to know that there are certain things that you cannot keep to yourself. If you're pregnant today, I don't think you keep it to yourself. So
you could try, and in a couple of months.
That's what they call.
We'll find out.
It's a community. We have lost that touch of being sisters and friends to each other.
But what do you think caused that? What do you think caused us to lose touch with the power of community? Because now we're both in JCI together. We know that community is one of the tenets of the organization, right? And there's a code that says it takes a community to raise a child, right? Because of people are no longer forthcoming, or because of seeing that communities that are supposed to help me are people that are gossiping about me and they're criticizing me.
So that's where the defense mechanism comes from. So you feel like the community I am in they are not preferring solutions to what is happening to me, and they are just busy having, like, okay, for instance, as a young lady, you get into a relationship. The community is actually objecting that you do not get into a relationship that young.
Okay.
So they start to, you start to have your own age group gossip about you. Older age group who are supposed to be big sisters to you, they gossip about you that you're already, there's this way they say that she said don't they fuck this the way we said you get, there's a way they say
say with your chest, don't worry.
No, there's a way they say it.
I say it the way they say it.
I'm cautious of the word I use. I am transitioning into what I want to be and what I want my children to be. So I'm actually very cautious of the word I use. So there's a way big sisters on the streets, they say it when you are a child and you're starting to take decisions on your own. And sometimes those decisions might be actually dangerous.
Okay.
So instead of them to call you to order and talk to you about it calmly, they be like, she said, don't they go meet man don't they touch her. That's the way they say it.
So it's more of from a destructive criticism. So point
yeah,
of view.
It is from a criticism. I don't know how to put that word because I have this thing with my tongue. So from that point of view, I, as the lady who is just taking drastic step and just want to enjoy my youth full age, I take decisions that I do not even know what it means. You get, and I do not have the community to fall back to. I don't have the big sisters anymore because they already actually chastised me for what I am doing. They did not even call me to order and tell me.
Now, I really like, so sorry that I interrupted you. I really like how we've moved from abusive relationship and we've moved into community, which is the main essence of the conversation. Now, obviously, I'm not going to take you to school by saying, communities consist of people of that related maybe by environment or by beliefs or whatever, because that's what a community means, right? But now let's take it back. A community consists of people. But if each and every one of us as a person, or each and every one of the community member is a bad person, you're going to have a bad community. I'll give you this personal example. I really like stories. A couple of weeks ago, I was on my way to the island, I think early February or late January, one of the two, a couple of weeks ago, and I was at the bus stop, because of, there's some places that if you want to get transport, there's going to be like some buses, maybe, or some vehicle owners that are going in that direction. Private vehicles, right? So apparently, this guy took me. It was his boss's car, because it was like a Jeep. It was like, I can't remember the name of the car, but it was a very luxurious car, right? And he told me that the price was 1,000. I was coming from Anthony area, and it was like, the price was 1,000 naira. And typically it should be like 800 naira or 600. But I'm like, no, well, because I'd been there for a while, so let's just go, right? And midway, I'll even tell you what happened in between. But midway was like, you can't get there, or that. What would he do? When I tell you that this guy passed his bus stop, it took me to where he was even willing to take me to where I was going after the bus stop. Now, this guy was a ray of sunlight. The guy was a ray of brightness, because when I saw it, he was even talking to me about, and I wasn't just the one in the vehicle, we're like 4 or 5 guys, and we're just gisting about how the country was going into shit. We're talking about how, we need to be there for ourselves as people.
Yeah.
And it was just a ray of sunlight. And it put things in perspective that you don't meet people like this every day.
Exactly.
When I told you, when I went to go see the person, because I went to go see someone on the island. When I got there, I immediately told this person that I couldn't stop talking about the guy. And when I tell you that the guy did not do anything out of
what a normal everybody can,
because he took his boss's car. Someone called me. He was playing music. He reduced the volume of the music. It was like, are you guys done? Then when his boss called, he was like, please, my boss is calling. Can I? He was a married man with children, but he was polite. He was being, I don't know. And the fact that you don't see this every day goes to prove that there's a problem somewhere. And if, as young people, we complain that there are terrible people everywhere, I'm going to remind you that foolish people grow older. Right, the people that the politicians and the leaders that you see today, and I'm so sorry that I'm attacking leadership position for such bad examples, but people, teachers, whoever that you think are bad people were once young and they were not put in check. and this is a wake up call. This is a reality check of some sort. That at one point we need to start to become accountable. Again, I respect that some people do not experience love from their house.
There's a way my friend will say, are you not loved at home? So I think it comes from love, a place of love from home. Mm-hmm. Charity begins at home. So it comes from home, and home is subjective. Home, we are not actually saying your father's house, your mother's house, your family. We are talking about your community, your church, your mosque, your school, your
let me offer a perception to go with what you are talking about. Right, very recently someone made me realize that because I grew from a loving home, some people do not experience some of the most basic form of love, and we can't start to victim blame that because it wasn't their fault. It was because of, say, their parents were strict parents, or they did not have the power of community, and as such, what you know now as an adult, they are just learning it, and we need to have empathy for them. And I genuinely understand, or I try to understand, because I cannot just say, oh, I am that perfect guy. I try to understand. However, it gets to a point, right? And this is the harsh reality of being an adult, and this is for young people like myself. It's all your fault. People don't care if your dad was the most harshest human being that used to, there's a borderline between discipline and molestation.
Yeah.
And maybe your father was a military person and they flog you like weary, and now you believe that you have to don't spare the rod, spare the rod, spoil the child. You believe in that and everything. At the end of the day, if you turn out to be a terrible person and you're an adult, it is your fault. So we need to start to become accountable for some of these things. We need to be intentional about learning. I'll give you another example. I'm so sorry. And
no, go on.
Something happened to me a couple of weeks ago. I had an altercation with someone that I would say was my friend. I past tense, was my friend. Right? I was looking for my podcast microphone. Coincidentally, it was somewhere that I used to keep it, and I just couldn't find it. And I literally turned the whole entire building of where I used to keep it. I could not find it. So I was asking like people around, please, did you like know where my microphone was? Do you know where it is? And because I was paranoid, the way I was asking it could have come off as accusatory.
Yeah.
So me, I asked Dikbo. Dikbo is my guy. I asked Dikbo like 50 times, 100 times. Bro, you sure say you don't see this thing? Or maybe you go carry on by mistake. And I wasn't. And Dikbo understood that because I was frustrated, I was exhausted. He got it. Now, I asked this chick, and, she said, no, she did not know where it is, and I thought that was the end of it. I eventually found it. Somebody else has taken it. Someone else took it, and he believed that it was something else. Now, this is where the fun part comes in. The person then comes and say, oh, she did not like how I asked her, that it was kinikon, it felt like a personal attack. And I tried to explain that, no, this is what's going on. And then she doubled down by attacking me personally, that I've done it before, that I used to do that. I'm like, I am so sorry. I did not know that was it. But me and you, that's the end that this thing will ever happen. Now, I say all of this to say, and then I went to Deep's DM and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with people? Right? And I don't know if you would experience some people that are insecure, saying in relationships, and then when you start to shower them with some form of love that you think everybody should be doing, it seems like a big deal.
Yeah.
I'll give an example. Ladies, guys don't get gifts. I'm fortunate enough to have gotten gifts from a couple of ladies, which I genuinely appreciate of. Yeah. Right? I don't take. I find every opportunity I get to, when someone compliments me, because I was gifted a perfume recently. When someone compliments that, oh, Joyce, man, now man give me. I don't. I'm like, bro, it's now man give me, because obviously, right? So I know that for ladies, you guys are used to getting gifts. You have a lot of suitors because of you're at a young age. But you see that singlet and boxer that social media has told you is cliche. If you actually give a guy I tell you, he's going to feel it, because every time he wears that type of singlet or boxer, he's going to remember you that this person. And this is the most, especially for guys, if he laid, now the lady that gave me those things or the perfume, I was like, wow, because I could not believe it. I had somebody that day, that time, that I don't know if you were in my birthday in final year, that were you there? It was Buma that was there, but you saw the video that it was in my house, right? Somebody was the person that organized the entire thing, brought all of my friends together, got my wish list. Like, one person actually did everything and was a lady, right? I know the meme. Right? But now I say all of this to say, in my mind, I started to calculate how I could repay the person, because I had not been showered with that kind of affection before. So all of this example is to say that sometimes people, especially guys in this my scenario now, we don't know what it means to be loved from a point of gift giving perception. And when somebody gives me the basicest of things, it makes my day. I don't forget your existence for the rest of my life. There's some people that have done some things to me that I'm just like, oh, my days, I'm not forgetting this person. And not because of the gift was grand, but because of I don't get gifted every time. Right?
That's nice.
Now, back to the harsh realities of being a Nigerian as a young person. All of this that I've been saying are the rays of light, the advantages of being a good person. Now look at when you step out of Lagos. if you are a constant commuter in Lagos, right, you're going to work, you find out that conductor will fight you, and this person will shout at you for change, somebody will jam you on the road, if you're moving some type of way, they can collect your phone, and
some people would even tell you that waka well like this, and they waka for Lagos.
Don't even think of the people that are driving. I pity people that, especially that are learners or are slow drivers, or they're not furious drivers, right? Because of their driving in a kind of calm way, people will start, it's your first time driving, sure, momoto wani, can you go, and I'm like, this person is just trying to be peaceful on the road. Is it the cause of your problem?
My dad is quite aged, so whenever he drives, and most times I might actually be beside him, whenever he drives, people will be like, why are you still driving? He's not old, he's just grown. I would say he's just grown. He's not old.
Is it like you're just feeling like you want to be the baby?
He's not old. My dad is not old.
Okay.
But whenever he drives in Lagos, so people will be like, Baba, go and drop your car. Blah, 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 blah. And there was a particular day he came off us. Man, he can't sit in the house all day. Mm-hmm. He doesn't like to evil. That has never been his type of life. Fine, he's chilled now. He just wants to relax. All his kids are doing well. He just wants to relax and.
Are you doing well?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing well.
I'm just joking. Go ahead.
He's just chilled. He just wants to relax. But at times, staying at home gets tiring. Now, whenever he wants to go out, everything gets defensive. Like everybody just wants to attack him and all of that. So there was a day he was driving, and he's actually a very calm driver right from time. So the lady was very furious. Then my dad he had to slow down a bit, and he just told her and said, they call it pleasure ride, madam. It is pleasure ride. You are not to drive yourself to death. That was the highlight of my day that particular time. When he just had to wind down and said, they call it pleasure ride, madam. And I was like, yeah, we need to I think people take life too fast. Like they are just always very, very fast about life. Life is, you're supposed to take it a step at a time.
Well, some people's line of work, you have to be like fast like that. So let's have empathy for these people. But something that I've come to learn quite recently is it is easy to be a bad person. I'll say it is very like being a bad person is the most simplest of things to do. All you need to do is mirror what is done to you. And you are well within your right, because you are just trying to defend yourself from the harsh realities of the world, right? However, to be a good person, it takes a lot of will. It takes a lot of willpower.
It takes so much more. There was a time I want to give you a case study. So I was having a conversation with my friends, two of my friends, a guy and a girl. So I think we're actually creatives, and I know it can be very draining as a creative at times when you have so much ideas and you want to just execute it and you want to just do so much.
Okay.
So that time we had this all planned out. I have my home projects I'm trying to run. He has his own project.
Oh, it's a he now.
And she also has her home projects. We are 3. So
it doesn't stop my imagination though. It makes it worse.
We're 3. We're just talking about it, and we're like, how do we want to go about this? I have exhausted everything I have on this particular project, and it is not even yielding anything yet. And my other friend, the guy, was complaining as well as I was. These are part of the harsh realities about life as a Nigerian youth. So we were actually having that conversation, and at some point, my female friend, she now made a statement. She said, I think we have made a mistake. I said, what mistake? She said, we are the good person. I said, how? She said, look at the people we criticized for doing this, and this, the bad things. I think they are the ones winning, and we are not actually winning.
Yeah. So
I said, to be honest, I said, it'd be like saying our soul. I told her, I said, it'd be like saying our soul. Say, we criticized these people and we said like they were living the bad life. That I don't think I want to be known to that bad life. But they are the actual ones winning. And you know the funny thing, the bad ones keep winning. The bad people, they keep winning.
They have become they have become Sadiq. You know, it's a Nollywood movie that maybe, and I'm going to even buttress our point. It's a Nollywood movie that you see somebody become an internet fraudster, and that was decades ago. That you now spend his money and you now become a gate man, bro.
It's not like
bro.
that.
It's not like that. No, those boys are wise as fuck.
These people are actually
they have evolved.
They have evolved and they are living their life.
And the funny thing is, I raised a question in my place of work a couple of months ago, because I used to have presentations every Wednesday in the office, and I was like, I can't remember the conversation, but my question then was like, I don't think you have to do a bad thing to become a rich person, right? And every single human being in the office looked at me like I was naive, like I was even called a Mr. Goody Two Shoes. That was the first time like I heard that term like physically, where I act like as though I am like all the way good. And the premise is everybody that has money has done something bad at one point, and because of nobody can see anybody past. That's it. They move on, and I've seen this happen. I've seen people, tons of my friends, indulge in certain activities. It became profitable, and then they raise it and they put it into good money, and it becomes profitable and it's legit. It seems like
they said they clean the money.
They clean the money and it seems like they've been doing well for a while. And while this might be depressing on some days, I don't know if it's enough for you to compromise your morality. And I'm not sure. Maybe I'm going to be put $50 million that I should kill somebody, and it might be tempting. Maybe I will do it. Maybe I'll compromise. I'm just only saying that we live in terrible times in the country of Nigeria. I don't know on a global scale, but someone that is not you is probably how to get you, and as such we have a constant target on our back. If you think this is far-fetched, just on a casual day find your way to Oshodi. And I was telling her when she was coming here, bro, she lost her way. Right? And I'm like, bro, don't stay in one place, just be moving, because it's Lagos. Once some boy is on site, he say you seem lost, they will find it. They'll look for how they will come and to dupe you, and it's extort you, and it's crazy.
I think everybody is just out to extort somebody, one way or the other, in Lagos, in Nigeria.
I don't know. And this is not us complaining. This is us trying to tell you to be the ray of light, right? Be the good person. It is going to be very hard. Now, this might be a boring episode. We're not talking about fun. We're not talking about the casual social media cruise. We're not talking about... But I hope that this is making sense to somebody. Because we can't. We're going to depreciate into anarchy if we all continue at this rate.
Exactly.
If all of us want to be bad, like sometimes I see some. Okay, so I used to tell this person that when a colleague does something to me, like I know manipulation when I see it.
Mm-hmm.
I know gaslighting when I see it.
Yeah.
So when a colleague or a superior is trying to manipulate me into making a decision,
I see the game you are playing.
I'm like, I see you.
I see the game you are playing.
I see you, but I'll let you in. I'll indulge you. But it doesn't mean I'm very foolish for letting you have it. Right? And that's the point. Be the ray of sunlight sometimes. And now, how to survive. We've been talking about the harsh reality so far. We've been talking about how terrible people can be and how you should be the light. Let's talk about how to survive it. Right? Let's be honest. We're not in a movie. This is real life. People get shot and killed. And this is not something. Growing up, we used to hear this thing at a distance. Now that we are starting to be grown, we're actually hearing of people lose loved ones to gunfights, to health issues, to the terrible health what's it called, facilities of the country, to crazy things. And some of the things that seem far-fetched are becoming closer day by day. Right? And as such, it can be very depressing. I'm not going to lie, it can be very depressing. However, you are not always going to be a hero. You are not Clark Kent. You are not Barry Allen. Don't think that you want to save some stranger, you put yourself in harm's way, and then you become a statistic of a gun fight, incident. So, first thing that you need to realize, if you find yourself outside, as much as you want to be a good person, please ensure your safety is on lock. If you want to help somebody, you want to go and scatter fights, they're fighting, you want to go and be the what's the name of, I'm looking for a motivational speaker now that I can think of. You want to be the Gary V, or you want to be this person of that whole scenario. Please make sure that you are first safe, because as much as I hate to admit it, we live in a terrible time. We can be considered to be a terrible time, and your safety is the most important thing, right? So please make sure you're safe. That's one way to survive it. Another way to survive it is you need to start to be responsible for yourself. And now I've been trying to avoid this particular line all episode. I'll be all so far so good, but I think I'll need to speed it out. We live in a day where we've become liberal as to how we dress, right? We are adopting the Western culture, and it has been accepted, right? Maybe culturally and religiously, based on the kind of people that we are as Nigerians, we would first bat an eye to you, but we are starting to learn to live with it, right? For ladies, you are able to dress some type of way, pull up with ashewo dresses, because that's what they call it. Yeah. Let me put the code so that it doesn't mean like I'm trying to tag anybody. Yeah. Pull up in ashewo dresses, and you're fine. You go to dates and everything, but it's actually the definition of insanity, dressing in a funny way to places that you are unfamiliar with, to places that might have predators, right? As much as it's your body, you can dress whatever you like. Again, make sure your safety is guaranteed, please, right? I'm not trying to say, I might have a personal reservation about what's it called? I might have a personal reservation of it, but I'm starting to learn to live with it. Yeah. However, if it involves your safety, if it involves you going to locations where you are unsure of and you don't control, or perhaps are even walking at night, and this happens every time. I know of my friends that are walking on the streets of Lagos 2 a.m. in the morning because we are coming from a club, and you are in an indecent outfit that you could, if you get jumped and the worst happens, that's it, because you literally just opened yourself up to be attacked, right? And this is me trying to tell you to be more careful. Again, this is not victim blaming. I get it that there might be something wrong with the society. Hold on to your path. Be responsible on your own path. Be as responsible. On some days, you want to feel your body. You want to see what God has created and show everything. I dig. Let me tell you something. I'm so sorry, Anat. Let me tell you something. Guys are the greatest simps. ever. No matter how Andrew Tate-ish he is, or no matter how toxic male he is, if he sees your body, right? I'm trying to put this in a very, very crude way, right? If you're looking for someone to admire you, wear the dress just randomly, and I'll tell you that this mask is going to gash you up. Like there's a meme on Twitter that a chick was like showing her boobs to a guy, and the quote was like, "Oh, a lady, like me showing my boyfriend my boobs for the 1 million time," and the guy was as fascinated as ever.
Yeah, he was.
And I'm like, guys can be seen. So if you're looking for the attention, I'm telling you, we're gonna give you. But please don't go and look for the attention on the streets of Oshodi. Don't go and be looking for the attention by 12 a.m. in the morning. That anything can happen.
You don't even, like, basically, you might just go to a safe area where you think you're safe. But then you have different alien services. You don't know who they are. Some of them are pervs. Some of them, once they see people, they've not had to live with seeing people exposed, especially ladies exposed every day of their life. So once they see you, they actually just want to touch you. So if you must go out revealing yourself, a safety tip I would advise is, aside having your pepper spray and the likes with you, one other safety tip I would advise is that you go with a familiar person. Either you necessarily do not need to use the alien herbs.
Okay.
You might just have a private car that you can actually have, and you know that it is actually secured. Some of these guys I would not call this alien herbs. Some of them are not actually family. The brands do not even know who they are and who they are.
The drivers are.
The drivers are.
So for obviously, you know, an artist bougie. You know, some of us don't have anybody that have car that we can go and call, right? But no,
I don't have car. I don't have car. Don't say that in outside.
But if at all you don't have someone to, I'm not, and this is not to show you an excuse that because of a guy invites you to date, you're not gonna bring one of your friends. Are you mad? Right? No, don't do that. If you cannot, if you don't know someone that you can go with personally, right? And you want to try the car alien apps, just make sure precautionary measures. I actually do not appreciate how we've depreciated into this is a society where you are carrying pepper spray up and down. Like, I never actually believed it up until, like, was it last year or 2 years ago that someone said, oh, they always have pepper spray in their bag, right?
I used to always have pepper spray.
I've not seen it in my life at all.
I have actually had to start saving for a Tesla, because if I'm coming to Lagos and I'm going to be based in Lagos, once I'm done at Abeokuta, if I will be relocating back to Lagos, I would actually have to get myself a Tesla.
Oh, wow.
No, that's what we are.
It's unreal. It's just unreal. Like, these are the kind of things you see in a movie.
That is what we have come to. The problem here is, I wanted to say it earlier, is that we do not have like a proper justice system. Our justice system is failing drastically, really, really failing. So I think that the justice system is failing. We have so much that we have to give. We have so much that we have to use to protect ourselves. Because even if there is somebody who abuses you, who has done something to you in the past, who is trying to hurt you, there is nobody to tell. There is nobody to report to. There are nobody to actually hold these people accountable. So it is just you who have to fight for yourself. So that is why I said the justice system has failed us, or is failing us. Let's say it has failed us totally, and so now we have to fight for our own self. I cannot be in a mess, and I could remember when I was in secondary school, when I just finished secondary school after my YHEC. So we had to, myself and other students, we had to go home from school. It was a boarding school. When we got to, I can vividly remember when we got to, from Ekpe, somewhere around Ekpe, Agboa, Ekpesha, when we got to Ikorodu garage, that day, we all dropped from the bus.
Okay.
Then, all of a sudden, I realized that one of my colleagues, like my friend, not my friend actually, but we're classmates, she was panicking. I could see panic in her face. And I was just looking at her like, what's wrong with this one? So I called my own friends. I'd be like, why is she looking like that? Then we had another bus coming. It was SS3 students now. We were all going home.
Okay.
So it was like 2 or 3 buses that actually conveyed all of us because we left the same day.
Okay.
So she was in my bus and I saw that she was panicking. Then I was looking at her like, okay, what's up? But I was not talking to her because we don't really talk. Then I asked my other friends, Alpha, what's wrong with her? Because they talked to her. And they were like, they did not give me an actual response. Then all at a point, there was a guy that held her and was dragging, like, just held her by the hand and was taking her away. Then we were all shocked. Then people were like, some of us actually wanted to mind their businesses and they wanted to go. But then my instinct told me that I can't let her go. We don't know who
this person is.
Obviously, maybe she had a business with them. But we do not know who this person is. So I called my friend. I said, how far, Maria? I called my other friend. I said, Hannah, she know if you come out like this. They were like, what do we want to do? That those guys, you don't know them. Because actually, they are one of those big boys. And they are wicked. Some of them, I think they were frat boys. From my school area then. So the other bus that was bringing other students, they said, so when we now went, they said we saw so and so that they were dragging her.
Okay.
That she, from anybody that knows the Kurodu garage, then she was at Sabo. I said, fast now. They said yes. I said, what can we do? They were like, we have to do something. Right there and right immediately on that spot. That side, they already destroyed so many places, some of those structures. So there is a particular fourth filling station. So I just saw there's this Black Maria that is always there. Mm-hmm. So I saw this particular OP Mesa guy. So I spoke to him and I told him that, see, this is my check. Because some of us were on check, some of us were on muftis. I just showed him that this is my check. I'm a Lagos State model student. That somebody had already taken one of our students and is going. And that was this period when I'm talking about was during Boko Haram, Chibok girls thing. Okay. So, the tension was on the high side. So as immediately I said it, I spoke to one particular, before I saw the OP Mesa guy, I spoke, there are always policemen by junctions. Yeah. This woman, she was controlling traffic. So I told her. She just looked at me like, what are you saying? Mm. So I was like, we needed people. I told people were there. I told some of those boys, the drivers, they were like, Ibola Fewalo. You get in Yoruba. So then when I met the OP Mesa guy, he's actually Hausa. So as I spoke to him, he didn't really totally understood what I was saying. But when I showed him, and I said they were taking somebody, his instincts told him that, okay, I was communicating with him. Then he said, where? I said, I don't know. Then we now met some of our other friends. His name is Kerry. I said, Kerry, how far you see this person go? He said, hey, she did outside. I said, then they wait for one car. Fortunately for us, there were 3 guys. One guy already drove and already took her, was taking her. Then the other 2 guys were waiting. I think they were waiting for another vehicle. That was when the police actually the OP Mesa guy just actually apprehended those other 2. And they were the one that had to find every means to get her back. You get what I'm saying? They had to find every way to get her back. That's what I'm saying. That if the justice system has not failed us totally, you get that day I witnessed justice being served. Because that means he made sure that she got back. They brought her back. And he took all of those other people back into the Black Maria and they took them back to Alausa Ikeja, I don't know where. So they had to find a way to bail them. I don't know how. You get. So those guys, they threatened me. They said, we'll go catch you. Because obviously I was going back for NECO. Some people were not going back for NECO. Okay. So they were like, we'll go catch you. I mean, I knew I was going back for NECO. But I just knew that you could not do anything to me. So it's just, if the justice system had not failed us, we would not have to be defensive.
Yeah, true.
You get. So that comes to, everybody just needs to have empathy.
And it's crazy when I hear of the statistics of how, and I'm not sure if this is quite accurate, correct me if I'm wrong, of how, like, I think 8 out of 10 ladies has been molested in their lives.
Yeah, true.
And it makes no sense to me. It genuinely makes no sense to me hearing that. Because if that statistics works, that means out of 10 people that will be packed together, 8 people, somebody have actually treated them some type of way. And it just doesn't sit right with me, right? But yeah, this is a reality check. This is a quick reality check of how terrible the world can be. This is how terrible how people can be. And as much as you might want to help, please make sure your safety is your number one priority. Yeah. Now, you can then extend your arm, because not everybody that say they are lost and they need help are scammers. Some people actually need help, but because of the high populace of people that want to scam, we don't know who is true and who is not true, and then we don't even extend the arm of helping anymore. So I pray that God guides you to discerning who's real and who's not real. Let nobody change who you are. I said this thing before, that you are giving, if somebody changes you, or if a girl broke your heart, left you for some frat guy, or left you for some other reason, and broke your heart and made it shatter to pieces, you are giving her power over your life if you become a playboy based off of that relationship breakup. Exactly. Now, it's not as easy as it may seem, or the way I'm making it seem, but it's not enough reasons that, because of this person actually broke my heart. She might have done you dirty. She might have run you straight, true and true. But you know in your core that you are a lover boy. You like to shower people with love. It is in your bones. But because of you want to retaliate as that particular agenda, that means at every time you become that evil person, you are going to keep remembering that, it is Shalewa that caused this
particular thing.
Meaning you are giving Shalewa power. Shalewa that might have even forgotten about your existence. So do you get it? We are constantly on the path of growth. We are all learning to become better people. Life is a lifelong journey. It's more about the process and not the destination. Let me bore you with the aspire to perspire stuff. However, please, let us be the change we want to see.
Yes.
Right. We want a better Nigeria. We want a better world. Some people might not get to leave the country at all. Some people might get to leave and come back. Some people might get to go wherever part of the world you're listening from or you're watching from. I think at the end of the day, it boils down to being a very good human being, trying, because that's one of the core tenets of the podcast. We're trying to create less horrible human beings. We're trying to create positive change for both your personal lives and your immediate community, and we're trying to question societal norms. Right. That said, I'm super glad that you stuck around to this very point. If you did, it might have been boring for you at one point, but that the fact that you got to this point means you're an OG, and there's a surprise waiting for you. Yeah, the surprise is my heart. And you know how you can win the heart? No, some people actually want to. Karen, now people want to win my heart. What's the problem?
Nobody should win my heart, I
if you want to win Anat's heart, the proof that you are that she's actually a good person is in her hands. Look at the grape. That's all I will say.
I'm actually a very good person. A very good person.
I mean, take a look at that grape.
You're very stupid.
Okay. In all sincerity, in all honesty, I'm super glad you stuck around. If you'd like to win my heart, like I stated earlier on, all you need to do is take a screenshot and share on your social media platform, your Instagram story, your Twitter timeline, your WhatsApp status. Just tell a friend to tell a friend. In fact, we've developed this habit of saying, put one friend on, send the link of the podcast to that friend, and have a conversation on some of the things I was mentioned. Trust me, it goes a long way. I know it can be.
This podcast can serve as a bond, a relationship bonding tool. So you might play it with your partner over the weekend.
We're doing you a favor. And do you know that we have a Patreon? We do now.
You can.
We do, but you want to give us money, you understand? Right? But I'm actually not in that space right now. We're not in that space right now because we just want to give and make sure people actually are becoming less terrible human beings. However, I'm sure you must have noticed merch doings. It was so coincidental that we did not plan for it.
I just saw Adura was like, why are you?
Right. This is just to remind you that the merch is
quite available.
Yeah. this and some new set of merches, you'll get a design pretty soon. We have a wait list if you'd like to get on it. I guess I'll attach it to the description. Right, it's quite affordable too, and merches are affordable, not avoidable. Don't avoid it. Afford it. We can
affordable,
right? And merch means that you are supporting what a product stand for, right? And if at all you've listened to us at any point, the podcast has been of companion to you, or you've just found we've made you laugh, you want to be able to broadcast the news of the podcast, and when you wear the shirt and people see, what does that mean, you can converse with them and even spread the word of the podcast. It's a way of supporting the podcast. And I think I'm not going to be a sneaker salesman, so but there's going to be pictures of us all over the internet. If you love the drip, we know you can afford it, because Stars Okiri now, and not like this now, has dropped me money for make I and go look front. Understand, right? My days. Yeah. And we've come to the most difficult part of the conversation, which is leaving.
No, I don't want to leave you.
It's not always easy to leave, right?
I don't want to leave you. I have so much to say, but
why did you leave us for 1 year?
I had to get myself together.
Gaslighting. That's what your mom and have taught you. Have you?
No. I was in
a what? Bad place?
Yeah, I was really in a bad place.
Tell me, what other line you used to use? It's not you, it's me.
That's just it. I was really in a bad.
It's not you, it's me. I'm the problem here.
I don't know so much about it, and he's just trying to act like he doesn't know Jack.
Act like no Jack. But yeah, man, I genuinely am hopeful to see the tags. Please, if you're posting on your Twitter or on your Instagram, tag us on Twitter at The Star Podcast, THESTAAR Podcast, on Instagram at Shaking Tables with AA. And if you'd like to follow me on my personal Instagram, that's at Adragbemi_A. That's ADURAGBEMI_AA. I'm also a product designer, so if you're looking to build in your product,
he's a product designer.
I'm looking for money, please. Obviously, you see this design here.
Put him on.
I designed this thing in under.
Be able to sponsor me. My sponsor me this.
I designed this thing in under 15 minutes. I was surprised. It was so fast. I was like, let's just cook something up, right? And it's not looking bad for something that was done under 15 minutes, right? Mm-hmm. I'm saying all of this. If you're not seeing it and you're listening on the podcasting platforms, please subscribe, and you can check my YouTube out at Adragbemi Abiola. It's all there. Our video content is there. Anat, before you disappear for another 1 year, what do you have to tell us?
I love you. Be good. Be human as possible. Be human and love. Spread love. It starts from you. It takes a match to light a fire. Yes, it takes a match to light a fire. By
spread love, you don't necessarily mean the romantic kind, right?
Yeah, no.
Because the romantic kind leads to another form of spreading.
Yeah, you spread it.
Peanut butter. I'm talking about, what's your problem? Hey, God.
So
and don't spread bad rumors too.
Spread love. It takes a match to light a fire, and it takes one candle of fire to burn the world down. So the best I can do is when you love somebody else, the person can extend that love to another person, and it goes that way till the entire world. So
before we close the curtains, Anat has been trending on the Star timeline for quite some time now, and people really, really missed Anat.
I'm trending. I don't know.
I was surprised. I was so surprised when I saw that. We were like, yeah, they were fucking with Anat at that time, and we don't know where Anat disappeared to. So Anat literally had to fly down to shout out the Rolua. And that came for you to come and record for you. Right? So I've been trying to bring Anat here for a long time. She did not answer, but because of another man decided to say, I miss Anat too.
So I just had to do all of this because I really miss talking on the podcast. It's been a long time.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful month. Day or night, whatever time that you're listening to us, and a wonderful year too, right? If this podcast has been of value to you, I recommend that you drop a comment on either of our social media platforms. I recommend that you share with one of your friends and on your timeline. It will mean so much. If you tag me, I will see it. we're going to be showing ourselves loves on the timeline, right? Thank you so much. Have a wonderful life, and I can't wait to hear from you, and I can't wait for you to hear from us in the next 2 weeks, because we're trying to be consistent as well. Have a wonderful one. Remember, most importantly, you are a star. Don't stop shining. Cheers.